Welcome to my neighborhood park that I find incredibly boring because there is no wildlife, just construction, basketball, and children screaming. But amongst this chaos, there is actually something I rather quite enjoy: the incredibly tiny and underappreciated weaver ants, scientifically known as Oecophila smaragdina. To me, weaver ants are probably the most interesting species of ants in Singapore, and mainly because of the way they build their nests. Long story short, they create homes out of large leaves and fold them to create little empty ketupats for themselves to sleep in. They make homes anywhere with large leaves like simpae and edible figs. They create a long chain of ants, pull the sides of the leaves together, and hold them in place with their bodies like safety pins. They then wait for a worker ant to bring weaver ant juniors, aka baby ants, to stick the edges of the leaves together. Workers make the babies produce silk and essentially stick the leaves in place, creating a lovely new home. In a seemingly noisy park, it's easy to forget that small creatures create noise too. But what kind of noise? Thought it was the sound of rain, didn't you? This is actually the sound produced by a nest of weaver ants. Sometimes you can even hear their little scratches and bites on our contact microphone. Let's look at the spectrogram. This spectrogram isn't showing you the volume of their sounds, but actually the frequencies they utilize. You and I can hear between 20 and 20,000 hertz. But what about ants? Well, we're not too sure. Weaver ant acoustics is rarely studied since ants are more famous for communicating using chemicals like pheromones. Let's listen again. When they're calm, they make sounds up to about 6 to 7,000 hertz. Should we be a little mean? I wonder how high-pitched they can get when they're agitated. Let's put this to the test. We'll take their sounds when they're calm versus agitated and compare them. 3 locations: Kent Park, Firefly Park, Sunset Way Park. We'll gently attach a contact microphone to the nest, then give them time to relax. Then shake the nest to agitate them and collect their acoustics. Let's do this 3 consecutive times on each nest. Who knows? Maybe they'll get used to it and behave differently. Now let me go shake some nests and I'll let you know. Okay, I'm back. Here's what we found. When they're agitated, meaning right after we shook their nests, they produce sounds up to as high as 15,000 hertz. 8,000 hertz higher than when they are calm. Why would they do this? Since their overall volume isn't loud at all, using these sounds to ward off predators might not be such a logical deduction. Perhaps they're just trying to warn each other? Asking workers and queen ants to seek shelter and preparing warriors for battle? Since we're mean, we shook the nests again. And again. But this time, for the second and the third shake. The nests did not sound that different from when they're calm. The sound plateaued back to about 5 to 6,000 hertz. Maybe they got used to it, since after the first time, they registered this shaking motion was not associated with any predator that might consume them. Could we have been right? Did their frequency range change because of agitation? We're not too sure. Our results might suggest so, but of course, this is just a little experiment. A case study at most. But perhaps one day we could find this out for sure. We could study the bioacoustics of some of the smallest creatures on Earth, study the usually underappreciated sounds of nature. Wouldn't that be cool? Maybe you could do it. But until then, let's just say there's at least some potential for ants to make sounds of higher frequencies when agitated. And there is a possibility they do register the danger of each experience and adapt. But to be honest, the only thing we are 100% sure of is that shaking weaver ant nests is not a nice thing to do. But go shake them anyway.
Then thanks, Brandy. Bye.
I'm not paid for this.
I know.